Hello Virgo, and welcome to the In-Between. We are in between eclipses, and that's what this reading is about. We are talking about what is going to happen during this period for you and what it's for. How will it affect you, Virgo, if you have a placement in Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter? Something here might be for you. It is a general reading. Let's find out what is going on for you, Virgo. First question we're going to ask is, what is being activated by this first eclipse for you? What is being activated for Virgo, please? What's being activated is for you to hold your vision. There's something here that you are supposed to hold fixed on, I think. An idea, something you wanted to do. It feels like hold your vision. It may not be happening right now, but I feel like there is going to be a moment where you're able to move forward. But right now is a time for you to realize that now is not the time to act. We do have, it's a time to take action. Do you see what I mean? As we get to the future, it feels like this is now the time to take action. But it does feel, it could be around the new moon in Aries if we have one coming up, but it feels like right now is not the time. Let's talk about what are you being prepared to understand in this in-between energy between the 13th and the 27th of August. What are you meant to understand? Tell me what Virgo is being prepared to understand. We have the Scarab Beetle. It says magic works through you. Very interesting. Bottom of the deck says clearing out the clutter. So whatever doesn't matter to you anymore is something you need to get rid of. Card 28 is a 10. Feels like in the future you will be cutting out things, people, friends, maybe cleaning out the attic, cleaning out the closets. We do have card number 52. It's a 7. It says magic works through you. I feel like there is in the middle part here of this eclipse energy, you realize really that it's always been in your hands. The Scarab Beetle is good luck. It's considered to be good luck, but it's a pain in the ass. They bite. It feels like something that is going to happen to you during this period, you may not be in favor of. You may not like it. It may sting. It may bite. But I feel like the magic is working through you. It feels like you had to get through the hardest part in order to realize that there was a better part. And so what needs to shift for there to be a major change for you during this eclipse period? We have surrender to what is. I was saying that right here, right? It's very interesting. It says, flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accept it exactly as it is, and it will bring you peace. And I really do feel like if there's an obstacle that you've been looking at and it won't move, it's time for you to find another direction. It's time for you to find a way around the obstacles so you can continue to move. And I think that is something that is going to happen in the middle of this time for you, this eclipse time. We have surrender to procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. I think it has to do with this card 28, clearing out the clutter. It feels like the clutter of the mind, the clutter of the hallway closet, the junk drawer. We all have one. It feels like you're clearing out some sort of clutter so you can become clearer, so you can make a path to the back of the storage unit or whatever it is here. All right, let's pull some tarot. Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And Virgo, thanks for your thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. Appreciate that. Let's find out what's going on for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Chariot here. And we've got the Hermit energy. It feels like there's a project here or something that you're looking at that you want done now. You've got a plan that you want to execute, and you know that you can get you can get to it quickly. It feels like a shortcut, but I feel like the Hermit is what's holding you back. Going over the details is really important for success. And so what are you being prepared to understand? That sometimes I feel like with the World card, some things don't have closure. Sometimes there is no closure. Sometimes the only way to do it is to heal and walk away. And not everything is going to bring you closure. Sometimes, the most irritating parts of life, right? Irritation, bugs, right? We find water beetles in our basement or whatever. It feels like something is bugging you because it hasn't come to a close, because there's no There's no way to close the door. So I think it's just going to be up to you to find the time to heal. What needs to shift for there to be a major change to occur in your life? Well, first of all, it is what it is. I know people hate that, but it is what it is. And that is when there is something that will not change, even though you will it so, maybe it's time for you to change how you look at the situation. And I think that's why you're supposed to hold your vision for now, because I feel like there is an answer coming, but it feels like you are going to have to be in this fixed energy first. Okay, I feel like I should dive for that card I just threw over my shoulder. There we go. We've got the Lovers in reverse. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Nine of Wands. It almost feels like a ghosting, or we just stopped talking and now we have nothing to say to each other. It's been really silent, and that might be weighing heavy on you. Yep, the Ten of Wands is here. Right. Let's talk about this. So I think what is being activated by the first eclipse here is that you have a plan. And I think there's a plan to do something. I don't know what aspect of that life is in for you, but I feel like whatever plan you have, there's a reason that you are stalled or stuck at the crossroads. I don't think you're supposed to execute that plan right now. I feel like when you execute the plan, it will be the right time, because the Chariot is here ready to carry you to your victory or to your success. But first you must discipline something, because the Chariot is also disciplining the way you feel about something. That's Cancer energy. It is the fastest moving energy in the deck, but I feel like if you move too quickly, I don't think your plan goes to plan. I think that's why you're supposed to hold your vision on something, because it's not the right time just yet. The Hermit is here. I feel like it's more of a time to look at, I would say, look at all of your options, your opportunities, change your perspective. You know, that's what Virgo is, right? That's, you know, you have the eye for looking at everything from all sides before you decide what it is that you're going to do. And so I feel like what's being activated in this first eclipse for you is that there is a plan that you have that I think will be very successful, but I also feel that you should really go over the details or just slow down a little bit before you act, because I feel like your plan is good, but I feel like you might be missing something, and that something is what is going to bring you to your victory. But I feel like there's something here that needs to be disciplined first. It could be how fast you want to react. You could have fire energy somewhere heavy in your chart, right? And I feel like it's weighing heavy on you, honestly, that things are not moving as quick as you want them to. I feel like what you are being prepared to understand is that sometimes there is no answer. And I think that's the most frustrating thing of it, because I think you like nice, neat boxes. I think you like there to be a beginning, a middle, and an end, that things have to finish before they begin again. And I feel like there is something that is unfinished. A door is not closed. It feels like you're going to have to heal your way out of that. I don't think you're ever going to get the answer. I think it was something here. It says magic works through you. And the magic is that we all have our ability to heal. Look, we can heal ourselves in some respects, right? Whether it's health, time, effort, energy, a relationship that didn't work, we do have the ability to heal ourselves, but first we have to get in balance. And I feel like the World card being in the reverse tells me something is open-ended. We didn't finish talking about it. You just ghosted me. It was something that I feel you needed closure on and you didn't get. And I really do feel with the Ten of Wands, that is another burden that you're carrying. So I feel like you would rather just be on your way, execute your plan, keep moving. But I feel like what's holding you back is you don't have all the information. Something is holding you back. It might be that you need a spiritual awakening before you go. Finding your light, finding your spiritual stability, your spiritual discipline before you enact the plan. So I think that all of this that's going on here with the Eight of Cups and the Temperance card is telling me that the only way you're going to heal is probably by detaching from whatever this is emotionally. I feel like you're going to have to detach emotionally and stop carrying the weight of someone else's decision. It wasn't your decision. You didn't have the ability to make the decision. It does feel like and I'm saying this in the past tense, maybe you got laid off from a job. Maybe somebody did not close the loop, close the door, say, okay, this is the end. Maybe they just ghosted you and left. It feels like something is unfinished. A door is open and you don't know what to do with it. You're standing there at the door waiting to see who's going to come by to close the door. And I feel like I don't think that that's coming. And I feel like that's really the irritation of the scarab beetle being here, that you are going to have to know and practice and realize that you are the magician. You have all the tools and the resources to do whatever you want to do, and that in itself is going to create your reality. What is the reality? Are you going to stand here waiting for an official ending to something, or are you going to begin the healing process by yourself? Because it feels like here that you're still a little bit out of balance, not quite healed. It feels like you were in the middle of something, and then all of a sudden, silence. It went away. And you don't know what to do with it. It's like you haven't yet quite digested it. So I feel like the only way that you're going to find that you can clear out the clutter of the mind, of whatever the situation is, the only way you're going to let go of it is if you walk away from it, because it really never served you in the first place. This feels like you're going through something karmic. It was merely supposed to show up to teach you a lesson and then leave. And maybe it was supposed to teach you a lesson of how to heal without something coming to a complete and total end, right? Oh, you know what I'm reminded of? Big Bang Theory. I know everybody has their opinion on Big Bang Theory, but there was one time that Sheldon's girlfriend Amy was trying to teach him that not everything needs an ending. And she would do things like go, and then she would sip her tea. And he would look at her like, oh. And then when she left, he'd go, right? He had a really hard time not carrying on life without having the ending of something. So surrender to what is. And I'm going to say that it is what it is. I know people don't like to hear it, but I feel like what some of you are probably dealing with is you weren't able to make the choice. You weren't able to make a choice here as to whether you wanted the door open or closed. And I feel like this lovers in the reverse for some of you could be a relationship. Maybe you got ghosted by somebody. It feels like nobody really let you know what the plan was going to be, and you like to be very planned. So I feel like it is what it is. There's nothing you can do to change it, and I don't think you're going to get closure, but I feel you are going to get understanding. So what needs to shift in order for you to make a major change in your life, or for a major life change to occur, is I feel like you have to stop carrying it around. I feel like you have to stop being the wounded warrior and just drop it. It's time to just let it go. I know it sounds easy, and it's not. I understand how it's not easy because I'm a fixed sign, man. It's really hard for me to make decisions like that. But once the 10 of Wands is here, it lightens the load, and then you can move forward with the 8 of Wands to whatever the next adventure is. So I really do feel that you have to just come to the realization that some things don't get an ending, that maybe they've changed their number. It feels like you want to have a conversation and say, look, what are the reasons why? I need to know. You know, we can part from here. Are you going to say sorry? Am I going to say sorry? Are we just going to decide that we just can't agree? But you're not going to get that. I feel like you want to have a conversation. You're like, but if I could just tell them how much they hurt me. They don't care, Virgo. I don't think they care, or they wouldn't have ghosted, or something here wouldn't be undone. It feels like this is the thing that is going to, the major shift for you in this period right now is the biggest change for you is going to be letting go of something instead of harboring the results of it. Something that you had no control over. It feels like you didn't have any control over it. Someone did it to you. But I feel like how you handle it is really important. It's time to clear out the clutter. And it's time to get rid of the procrastination and the obsessive thinking, because it feels like it's got you stuck, I would say. It's got you stuck holding everything, and healing has to occur before you can take action on whatever it is. It feels like you're wading through mud here. It feels like you want to go, foot's on the brake, foot's on the gas, and I feel like you want to go, but you're just spinning your wheels because you're caught up in the details of something that's cluttering the mind. All right, let's clarify just a little bit. Tell me more about Virgo. Virgo, we're going to talk about the Hermit, because I feel like this is the way out of this holding your vision. It's like you want something to happen and it's not happening. And I feel like you go into some sort of undercover search. I've got to be able to find the answer. We've got the Six of Swords. Yeah, again, the universe is saying, look, detach. Detach if it becomes obsessive, or if it becomes chaotic, like if it becomes a massive chaotic mind project. It's feeling like it's time for you to just let it go. I feel like if you can't let it go, I feel like the Tower shows up to give you mercy, to help you detach from it. The Tower being in the reverse to me is kind of like the warning shot. The Tower is going to be showing up, or something is going to change without your sign off. So I feel like something is going to change that you aren't expecting to change. It's probably going to surprise you a bit, but I feel like it is going to help you detach from the place where you are stuck. And I think the place where you are stuck might be a dark night of the soul, trying to figure out what you did in order what you could have done, what it could have, should have, what should I have done, what could I have done to change this thing, change the outcome. I don't think there's anything you could have done. We have the Seven of Wands. I feel like this is an opportunity for you to hold your vision, find out a way to pull up some, to put down some barriers between you and the thing that might show up to hurt you again. It also does feel that it is security. I'm going to say pulling in your energy is security. It makes you feel more protected. I feel boundaries are necessary. I do feel that you will pull away from this dark night of the soul, and I think that when you do, you come out of it with boundaries. I feel like I don't want to be in that chaos ever again. And so now I'm in charge of my energy. I will put up the boundaries until I feel like I should let the boundaries down. So let's talk about this World card in the reverse. What was it that you didn't get any closure on? Tell me about the World card in the reverse. We've got the Judgment card. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Devil card. Yo, that's mean. It feels like, I feel like you asked somebody, so where do we go from here? You know, maybe we've been dating for a long time, or maybe you've been at the job for 6 months and they promised you an appraisal and a raise. It feels like, well, where do we go from here? And so I feel like what you need to be prepared to understand is when the Judgment card is here, because something else is coming back around. I feel like there is something else here that is pursuing you. And I feel like, quite honestly, that whatever happened here, there's a lesson to be learned here. You are being prepared to understand that not everything has closure. And I think it is in preparation for whatever is about to come back around. Because there is something here that I feel that you may have given up long ago, or something that you didn't understand. Now when that thing comes around, now I have the answer. I don't need closure on this thing now. I feel like something is pursuing you here, or possibly you gained wisdom. You gained wisdom to know that sometimes we have to take detours in our lives, right? It feels like something has died and you want to resurrect it, but I feel like the World card says that some things just don't give you an answer when they end. I feel like that's pretty rotten. I'm just going to say the Devil is here. And it feels like you probably go into this spiral of thinking and overthinking and overthinking. How are the ways where I can get a hold of this person, find out what I did, I need more details, what went on. It feels like there is something here that is keeping you in a thought pattern, a loop, I want to say, but it's time for you want to try and resurrect an old thing possibly, but I feel like you just need to realize that sometimes things sting, and it's up to you to do the healing, and that nobody really is obliged to explain themselves to you. I know it's not nice. It's a dirty trick. It is. But I feel like this particular thing is to teach you, to help you understand that you have the power to heal yourself regardless of the actions of others. I really do feel like you can walk away from the emotional part of it. It feels like this wasn't a nice thing to do. It does feel like you're still attached to it. I feel like you still want to pursue it. You want to resurrect it. But I feel like it's done. I feel like it's done because it's asking you here to walk away. Let's talk about the Nine of Wands and how you can release whatever it is that you are carrying here. Tell me about the Nine of Wands. We've got the Three of Cups. We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, it does tell me that it's time for you to stop being so stubborn. Look, it's not only Taurus that's stubborn. Anybody can be in this place where they refuse to move. They refuse to move where they are because they want someone else to change. They want someone else to come in and say, okay, release me so I can go. Not everybody who is a Taurus is stubborn. Some people just are a person who is like, this must end. I have to have the ending of this. You have to tell me why. So I feel like you can be much happier if you stop carrying the burdens of others. I feel like these are burdens other people place on you. This particular one is where you didn't get the end of something. I think that you pursue it because you want to resurrect it, but I really feel like by detaching, you'll be far happier. Getting a new friendship group, going out, being more social, getting into a social group, signing up for something, getting onto a team, go out there and volunteer, just meet new people to fill the gap, I feel. Yeah, this is the gap. It feels like you need to detach from feeling all of these 9 wands, because I really don't feel you had much of a choice about the wands that you're carrying, but you do have a choice as to whether to put it down or not. The 10 of wands are here. I don't think that it was your choice to carry the wands, but I do feel that that you can let go of this lack if you want to. it really is up to you to do that. You can have happiness and celebration, but I feel like it's going to require that you stop thinking about it, and that's going to be the hardest part. It is what it is. It's not going to change from what it is. All right. Let's put down 3 cards. We're going to talk about these in the extended. If you want to come into the extended, please look at the top of the comments right under this video. There is a pinned comment if you want to come into the extended. We're going to talk about where does this go from here? Where's this energy taking you, and what is going to unfold as a result? So let's talk about these 3 cards. Okay, something has popped out here. What's this? We've got card number 18. We've got card number 3. And we've got card number 12. Look, I feel as though you're going to hear chitter chatter about the thing that didn't close. I feel like you are going to hear from the people from the old job that you were let go of. You're going to hear from people who are connected to the person who possibly did you dirty. I feel like there is going to be gossip and chitter chatter. I think that this energy here is telling me to tell you, find new friends. We got 1010. It's telling me, find new friends, stop waiting. 7 of Pentacles in the bottom right-hand corner. Stop waiting and listening to the chitter chatter. I feel like there is a really good ride or die. I always say to my son, look, you only need one good ride or die. Everyone else is bonus. It's like the dollar bills are the ones you pay attention to. The coins goes in the jar at the end of the day, right? So I feel like you were dealing in a bunch of coins. This, always when I put this card down, I giggle just a little because I hear when I put this card down, rise above the bullshit. And that's what I think it is. I feel like there are obstacles that I feel like you can take flight, and you can hop right over those obstacles and choose to see them as achievements. So it's all perspective, right? So somebody might say that's an obstacle, I need to get in the boat and I need to fly over the obstacle. And other people might just say, no, I feel like this is an achievement that I can just go where I want to go. I feel like the card number 3 tells me find creative ways to get over the obstacle and stop waiting. The 10 of Swords is on the bottom right-hand corner of this. Release it. Let it go. And the 10 of Cups is here. I feel like you're about to meet somebody who's a really special friend. Someone who's very loyal, right? The dog is here. Someone who's a loyal friend, and I don't think you see it yet because card 18 for me is the moon energy. All right, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, please look at the pinned comment, and you will find the link for the membership area, which is where I do all of the extendeds if you want to come there. But also if you want a private reads are open. I do them pre-recorded. I also do them live. The live readings are on sale. If you would like to do any of that, please visit that pinned comment. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. And if you want to be back, I will see you then. Take care. Thanks, Virgo. Bye-bye.